Hi everyone. So in this session, we will discuss about numerical problems on EDTA method, because in our last session, we discussed about what is EDTA method, how it is useful to determine the total hardness of a given water sample, all those things. But this is one of the very important method. We have to practice some problems based on the EDTA method also. So I'm going to discuss about one or two problems in this session. Okay. So let us see the first problem. So this is our first problem. So in this case, they have given some data, and we have to go through the data, and finally we have to find out the what are the required hardness value we have to measure. So first, see the problem. So according to this problem, 20 ml of m by 20 chelation 2 place requires 22.5 ml of EDTA solution during the titration process. 20 ml of same EDTA required 18.5 ml of hard water. That is another statement. And the same hard water sample after boiling and filtering required 12.5 ml of same EDTA. So like this, they have given three different statements. And finally, what we have to do is we have to calculate total permanent and temporary hardness of a given water sample. So basically, we have to measure what is the total hardness value, what is the permanent hardness value, what is the temporary hardness value based on the data they have provided. So first of all, we have to carefully understand what type of data they have provided, and from that, what are the values we know and what are the values we have to find out. So that we have to understand properly. Okay. And throughout the EDTA method, we are actually following molarity scale only. And in this case also, mostly they have depend on the molarity scale only. For example, here they mention actually m by 20. So m by 20 means that is also the molarity scale only. So in case of molarity scale, what is the formula we are using? M1 V1 is equal to M2 V2. So if you have two solutions, one is known solution, one is unknown solution, M1 V1 refers to the known values and M2 V2 actually refers to the unknown values. Unknown values means one of these parameters, maybe in that case M2 value is actually unknown value. We have other three values like V2, V1, M1. We can able to measure the M2 value. So most of the cases we are following this formula only. Even for solving this problem also, we have to depend on this formula only. M1 V1 is equal to M2 V2 formula. If more variables are there, so I will use M1 V1, M2 V2, M3 V3, M4 V4 like that only. So step by step model. So first of all, we have to understand the first statement. So 20 ml of m by 20 chelation 2 place requires 22.5 ml of EDTA solution during the titration process. So why this statement is there means, so in our previous class, we said actually for determination of total hardness of water, always we are depending on the EDTA solution, some standard EDTA solution like this. So in our previous session, we used actually 0.01 molar EDTA solution. Yes or no? Disodium salt of EDTA solution like this, or Na2 EDTA like this. So normally we are using disodium salt of EDTA. So because this is actually having better solubility in the water sample, but this solution we have to prepare. This solution we have to prepare, and we have to know the exact concentration of that solution. So this is actually not primary standard solution. If you see the actual solubility of the disodium salt of EDTA, so that is actually not 100% soluble in the water sample. It requires some time, and even the molarity of the disodium salt of EDTA solution in water medium changes with respect to time. So that means we have to know the exact concentration of disodium salt of EDTA whenever if you do titration process. So that means this is also secondary standard solution according to the titration methods. So this solution also, this salt also belongs to secondary standard compound only. Always we have to measure the concentration of such kind of solutions by using some primary standard solutions only. Always we need some standard solution. So by using that standard solution, first of all we have to find out exact normality of the disodium salt of EDTA during the EDTA titration method. So then what is the primary standard solution we have to use in order to know the exact concentration of this disodium salt of EDTA? So primary standard solutions mean they have some specific specifications. So primary standard substances actually having high solubility, in water medium. That means if we want to prepare primary standard solution in water medium, so we have to choose certain substances which are having high solubility. So high solubility is required and highly stable. Those compounds are actually highly stable. So high stability means the composition of the corresponding compound actually not changes with respect to time or with respect to any other parameter. It is actually constant only. They have constant composition. So they are highly stable in their particular composition. So like such type of compounds we have to choose for making primary standard solution. High solubility is required, high stability is required, and they cannot change this concentration value if it is during the titration process. So like that, so primary standard solutions actually having some specific measurements like this. We have to choose highly soluble material, we have to choose highly stable material, and at the same time, once we make some concentrated diluted solution, that concentration actually fixed and is not changing during the titration process. So like that, we have to mix particular compounds. So like that, we have different types of examples for the primary standard solution. For example, K2Cr2O7. So K2Cr2O7 one of the primary standard reagent, or even oxalic acid, COOH. So this is actually oxalic acid. So these are one of the primary standard solution. Or in the titration method, we are also using sodium carbonate, Na2CO3 also we are using actually one of the primary standard reagent only. In a similar fashion, in this method, if we want to titrate EDTA solution by using another primary standard solution, we need actually standard hard water solution. We need actually standard hard water solution. So standard hard water solution acting as a primary standard reagent in order to know the concentration of disodium salt of EDTA during the EDTA titration methods. Always we need actually standard hard water sample. So by using the standard hard water sample, we can able to measure the exact concentration of secondary standard disodium salt of EDTA. Once we know the concentration of disodium salt of EDTA, we can able to identify the concentration of unknown water sample, and we can able to measure total hardness value, permanent hardness value, or temporary hardness value. So always we need standard hard water sample. So what is the standard hard water sample? How to prepare this standard hard water sample? So that we will see. So basically, in order to know the concentration of disodium salt of EDTA, exact concentration of disodium salt of EDTA, we need actually standard hard water solution. We need actually standard hard water solution. So this is acting as a primary standard reagent for knowing the concentration of this secondary standard solution, like disodium salt of EDTA. So what is the standard hard water sample? How to prepare the standard hard water sample? So generally standard hard water sample prepared from the calcium carbonate, because we know that calcium carbonate is one of the highly insoluble material during the water treatment process. So we have to prepare standard hard water sample by using calcium carbonate only. First of all, we have to take certain amount of calcium carbonate solid like this in one of the beaker, and then add distilled water Normally in case of water, what is solubility calcium carbonate? So calcium carbonate is one of the highly insoluble material in water sample. That means if we add distilled water like this, there is nothing happen in this case. So in order to solubilize this compound in water medium, just add little amount of HCl solution. Just add little amount of HCl solution, direct HCl solution. Then what will happen? So this calcium carbonate compound reacts with HCl. So then what will happen? And at the same do boiling, if you do boiling process also, simultaneously you have to do boiling process also, then what will happen? So this calcium carbonate slowly reacts with hydrogen chloride molecules and forming corresponding calcium chloride plus water plus and release the carbon dioxide in this manner and releases carbon dioxide in this manner. So initially we have a calcium carbonate compound in water medium and we have provided HCl like this. So this HCl molecules reacts with calcium carbonate in the presence of heat and converting this calcium carbonate into calcium chloride and water and carbon dioxide like this. So carbon dioxide actually goes outside because we are doing boiling process also. So it is actually one of the gaseous substance and leaving the beaker. So then so our beaker consists only calcium chloride and water only. And if you do continue this process until the volume of the vessel reduces to 3/4 like this, 1/4 like this. Now this is actually calcium chloride plus water only. Like this. This is a calcium chloride. Now calcium carbonate is converted into calcium chloride only. Like this. So then you have to make up this solution up to required volume like 250 ml, up to 250 ml or 500 ml or 1000 ml, something like that. So by using distilled water only. Distilled water. So what we have to do? So first take the certain amount of calcium carbonate into one of the beaker like this and add distilled water and then add dilute HCl also. So then what will happen? The calcium carbonate actually converting into calcium chloride like this and there is evolution of carbon dioxide like this. So this calcium chloride solution again we have to make up to the particular volume like 250 ml volume or 500 ml volume, 1000 ml volume like that. Then that solution acting as this solution actually contains only calcium 2+ ions only, yes or no? And other side we have a chloride anions also. But basically this solution contains Cu2+ cations only. So that means this is actually one of the calcium solution. This is actually one of the calcium containing solution. But this is acting as a standard hard water for our reaction. Because we want to use this standard hard water sample for titrating the disodium salt of EDTA, and in order to know the concentration of disodium salt of EDTA, we are using this one actually. But this is the procedure how to prepare standard hard water sample. So in this case also they are using a particular concentration of standard hard water only. So basically what is standard hard water sample? Standard hard water sample contains calcium 2+ ions. So that solution acting as a primary standard reagent, and by using that solution we can able to measure the concentration of disodium salt of EDTA during the EDTA titration method. Okay, so in this case also they are using some particular concentration of calcium 2+ request. Calcium 2+ request means this is nothing but actually standard hard water sample. They have made actually standard hard water sample this particular concentration, m/20 concentration. So what is the meaning of m/20? m/20 nothing but actually 1/20 molar. 1/20 means how much? 0.05 molar. Yes or not? Like this. So 0.05 molar standard hard water sample was used in order to standard the EDTA solution. Whatever the solution, EDTA solution we have. So in order to know the concentration of this particular solution, we want to know what is the concentration of EDTA solution. Once we know the concentration of EDTA solution, we can able to measure the concentration of unknown water sample, and we can able to measure temperature hardness, permeability hardness, total hardness. Basically we need this value. What is the concentration of EDTA solution? In order to measure the concentration of EDTA solution, we need actually standard hard water sample like this. By using that standard hard water, we want to identify the EDTA concentration value. So that means in this case, basically what I'm trying to say is actually the first statement actually, this statement actually, it is nothing but actually this is a standardization of EDTA solution only. What is the first step actually? Actually is standardization of EDTA. So first, this is the first step. This is step 1. So in the step 1, what we have to do? We have to standardize the EDTA solution by using given data. Once we know the EDTA concentration, then we can go for the further titration process. So this is the first step. In this case, what is the data they have given? Let us see. So what they have given 20 ml of M by 20 calcium 2-place requires 22.5 ml of EDTA solution. So that means here M1 actually concentration of standard hard water sample. This is nothing but actually standard hard water sample. So M1 actually molarity of calcium 2+, but this is nothing but actually standard hard water sample. How much they have given? M by 20. So M by 20 means 1 by 20 molar, that means 0.05 molar. So this is the M1 value they have given. And whatever, so this Ca2+ solution, how much they have taken? 20 ml for that titration process. So therefore V1 is equal to, during the titration process, what is the V1 value? How much they have utilized? 20 ml only. Volume of Ca2+ required. That means this is actually standard hard water sample. How much standard hard water sample we have taken? 20 ml only. So that means V1 value actually 20 ml. So V1 value actually 20 ml. And this is second part. This is the unknown solution now in this case. M1, V1, we have these values. And what is M2? M2 actually molarity of EDTA solution. Molarity of EDTA solution. So in this case, that is in the first case, that is actually unknown value. So by using this statement, we have to measure that M2 value. So we have that is actually unknown value. And what about V2? So V2 means the amount of EDTA solution required. In the first case, how much amount of EDTA is required? 22.5 ml of EDTA is required. So volume of EDTA required, that is actually 22.5 ml. So like this, from the first statement, we have some data. So we have some data. What is that value? M1 value we have. So that is actually 0.05 molar, and V1 value 20 ml, and M2 value unknown value, and V2 value 22.5 ml, like this. So from this we have this data. From the first statement we have M1 value and V1 value and V2 value. Just we have to measure the M2 value only. So now according to our formula, what is our formula? M1 V1 is equal to M2 V2. So from this formula, so we have to identify what is M2 value. So therefore M2 is equal to M1 into V1 divided by V2. Then substitute all the values. We will see how much it will come. So what is the M1 value? 0 into V1 20 ml divided by V2 22.5 ml. So if you do this calculation, 444 molar, like this. So this is the M2 value. What is M2? M2 actually concentration of EDTA solution. So where M2 is equal to molarity of EDTA solution. So that is actually 0.044 m, like this. So this is the first part. So this part actually over. So from this statement we have measured actually molarity of EDTA solution like this, 0.0444 molar, like this. Now coming to second statement. So I am just noting down M2 value here. So M2 V2 always belongs to EDTA only. Throughout this titration process, M2 V2 indicate actually EDTA only. Okay. EDTA like this. So M2 value actually is 0.0444 molar like this. Okay. So now let us see the second statement. So 20 ml of same EDTA required 18.5 ml of hard water sample. That means the second titration actually determination of hardness of water by using EDTA method. So in that case, we have some hard water sample. How much hard water sample we have? 18.5 ml hard water sample is there. So in order to titrate this hard water sample, how much amount of it is required? 20 ml of EDTA actually required. So we need 20 ml of EDTA be consumed in order to titrate the 18.5 ml of hard water sample. So that means in the second case, we have M2 value. What is M2? M2 actually concentration of EDTA. So that is already we know that 0.0444 molar like this. But in the second case, what is the V2 value? In the second titration process, how much amount of EDTA is consumed? 20 ml of same EDTA required. That means how much amount of EDTA is consumed? 20 ml. That means in the second case, V2 value actually 20 ml. And we have another parameter, another new parameters, that is actually M3 value and V3 value. So in this case, what is M3? In the second case, we are using actually hard water sample. So this is the unknown solution here. So for this unknown solution, we have some concentration, molarity, that is actually M3. M3 actually molarity of hard water. So the previously we use actually standard hard water, that is required in order to know the concentration of disodium salt EDTA only. But the second case, we have a unknown hard water sample. This is actually unknown hard water sample. So that is actually M3 value, molarity hard water sample. This is completely unknown value here. So we have to measure that unknown value. And V3 value, how much amount of EDTA is used? So how much amount of hard water sample is used? 18.5 ml. So how much amount of hard water? 18.5 ml of hard water is required. That means V3 value actually 18.5 ml here. So that means again we have this new data, M2 V2 values, M3 V3 values. So from this data, what is missing? So M3 value actually missing. So we have to determine the M3 value. So then we can able to measure the hardness of the given water sample. Yeah. So from the first statement, we measured actually concentration of EDTA solution. So that is that we actually obtained actually M2 value like this. M2 is equal to 0.0444 molar. So in this entire problem, M2 and V2 always representing actually EDTA solution only. So we have any other unknown solution, we are giving actually M3 V3 value or M4 E4 value like that only. So now they see the second statement. So second statement telling that actually 20 ml of same EDTA required, 18.5 ml of hard water. The second time indicates that 20 ml of same EDTA required, 18.5 ml of hard water sample. So that means this time we have another unknown solution, that is actually M3. So this is actually unknown solution, we have to measure M3 value the second statement. So but what is the data we have? So they are using the same EDTA solution. So what are the solution we prepared and what are the solution we determine, we know the concentration of the solution. The same EDTA solution that used for the second titration process actually. So then that means from the second statement, we have actually M2 value. So what is M2 value? 0.0444 molar. And V2 value. V2 means volume of EDTA required. So 20 ml of same EDTA used. That means V2 value actually 20 ml for the second titration. And now we need actually M3 value. So M3 actually volume of molarity of the hard water sample. M3 actually molarity of hard water sample. So that is actually unknown value. And V3 value. So what is V3? V3 means volume of hard water used. Volume of hard water used. That is actually 18.5 ml actually. So like this, the second time we have 4 different parameters like this: M2 value, V2 value, M3 value, V3 value. So out of these 4 values, what is the unknown value means? M3 actually unknown value. So then what is the formula? So M2 V2 is equal to M3 V3. This is the formula. So now this time M3 actually unknown value. So M3 is equal to, so M2 V2 divided by V3. Okay. So now substitute all the values. What is M2 value? 0.0444 molar, and V2 value 20 ml, and V3 value 18.5 ml. So if you substitute all these values, if you do this calculation, so we will get actually 0.048 molar. So this value actually is 0.048 molar like this. Okay. So what is this M3 value? M3 is equal to molarity of hard water. So what is this M3 value? M3 is equal to actually molarity of the hard water sample. Now we have to calculate total hardness of value by using this value, because what is total hardness? Always the given water sample. Always the given water sample always having total hardness value only. So what does it mean total hardness value? This is combination of temporary hardness plus permanent hardness. So total hardness is equal to temporary hardness plus permanent hardness. So the given water sample always having total hardness value only. Here the second point, this is the hard water sample we have. Now this water sample actually having hardness molarity value like this M3 value. So then calculate total hardness value. So total hardness is equal to molarity of the given water sample. Molarity of the given water sample, that means hard water sample. In this case, that is actually M3 into molecular weight of calcium carbonate and into 1000 ppm. 1000 ppm like this. Now substitute values here. What is M3 value? 0.048. 0.048 into 100. Molecular weight of calcium carbonate actually 100 and 1000. So now what is the total value? So this value actually 4800 ppm like this. So that means the given hard water sample actually having 4800 ppm of total hardness value. So this is about total hardness value. So what we have to calculate actually? We have to calculate total hardness, permanent hardness of a given water sample. So far we calculate actually total hardness value. So that means this is over. So total hardness is over. Now we have to measure permanent hardness and temporary hardness. So according to total hardness definition, total hardness is equal to temporary hardness plus permanent hardness. So that means once we know this value, if we remove this total temporary hardness value from the water sample, so we can able to measure the permanent hardness value, because so we can easily remove this temporary hardness value, yes or no, by doing simple boiling process. If you do simple boiling process, what will happen? From the water sample, temporary hardness actually removed, the remaining water sample actually having only permanent hardness only. So if you see the third statement, so third statement clearly indicating that, so remove temporary hardness from the given water sample. So what is the third statement? The same hard water sample, the same amount of hard water sample. In the previous citation, we have used actually 18.5 ml hard water sample. The same hard water sample, the same amount of hard water sample after boiling and filtering, required 12.5 ml of same EDTA. So that means what they did actually, in order to measure the permanent hardness and temporary hardness value, so they have taken the same amount of hard water, like 18.5 ml hard water, then they did actually boiling process. So if you do boiling process, what will happen? From water sample, temporary hardness actually removed. From the water sample actually temporary hardness actually removed. So that therefore the remaining water actually having only permanent hardness. So that means in the third statement, we can able to measure permanent hardness value directly because we have taken the water sample like 18.5 ml, 5 ml, then we did actually boiling process. After that, we did actually filtration process. Therefore, from that water sample, from that 18.5 ml hard water sample, temporary hardness actually removed. The remaining filtrate, that means the remaining water sample actually contains only permanent hardness only. So that means from the third statement, we can able to measure permanent hardness value. So once we know the permanent hardness value, already we know the total hardness value, we can easily calculate the hardness value. Yes or no? So that means the third statement actually useful to measure the permanent hardness value. So the third statement actually useful to measure the permanent hardness value. So we will see how it is possible. So again, for the third titration also they are using same EDTA. That means throughout this process we are using same concentration containing same concentration EDTA solution only. So what the concentration? Our EDTA concentration actually is 0.0444 molar EDTA solution we have. By using that solution, we are actually measuring the total hardness value, temporary hardness value, or permanent hardness value only. That means the third titration also we are using same EDTA, and that EDTA actually having molarity value 0.0444 like this only. So now let us see. So in the second case, how it is possible. So for time, just I'm erasing all these values. So, but we have to remember this value only. M2 value actually we have 0.044 molarity like this. Okay. So erase all this value and only consider the third statement only. Now we are actually seeing this third statement only. The same hard water sample. The same hard water means the same amount of hard water sample. The same amount of hard water sample after boiling and filtering requires only 12.5 ml same EDTA solution. So that means third time also we have a EDTA solution. So what is the EDTA molarity? EDTA means that is actually M2 value. So M2 value actually 0.0444 molar. This is fixed. This is actually fixed. But V2 value for the third titration, how much amount of heat is required? For the previous titration, 20 ml of heat is required. But for the third titration, how much amount of heat is required? Only 12.5 ml only. So that means this time V2 value 12.5 ml. V2 value 12.5 ml. And now we have actually boiled water. Previously we have a hard water, that is normal water, hard water that contains actually total hardness value. But third time we have actually boiled and filtered water. So that means now we actually boiled water. Boiled water always having permanent hardness only. There is no total hardness value for the boiled water because already temporary hardness actually removed from the water sample. So third time we have actually boiled water. So third time we have actually this hard water actually boiled water. Boiled water only. So that means this is a new unknown water. So that's why I'm giving actually another term M4 value. So M4 actually molarity of the boiled water. What is M3 value? M3 actually molarity of the given hard water sample, normal hard water sample. That is M3 value. That is already over. So now we have a new water sample that is actually boiled water. So that boiled water actually having concentration M4 that is actually unknown in this case. That is actually unknown in this case. Now what about V4? V4 means how much amount of water sample we have used. They mentioned actually this is the same hard water sample. That means again they are using 18.5 ml only. Again they are taking actually 18.5 ml of hard water, but that is actually boiled and filtered. So that solution they use it for the titration purpose. So the same amount means again we have a 18.5 ml of boiled water sample. So like this, in the third case we have a parameters like this: M2 value, V2 value, M4 value, M4 and V4 actually. Among these four values, M4 actually unknown value. Then what is the formula? V4 like this. What from this formula? What is the unknown value? M4 is the unknown value. So therefore, M4 is equal to V2, V4. Okay. Now substitute all the values. What is M2 value? 0.0444 into V2 12.5 divided by V4 18.5 ml. Okay, so if you do this calculation 0.0444 into 12.5 divided by 18.5, so we will get 0.03 molar like this. So 0.03 molar like this. So this is the molarity of the boiled water sample. This is the molarity of the boiled water sample like this. Now we have to measure the permanent hardness value. So permanent hardness is equal to, so what is the formula? Molarity of the permanent hardness M4 into molecular weight of the calcium carbonate into 1000. So that is equal to, what is M4 value? 0.03 into molecular weight actually 100 into 1000. So this is actually 3000 ppm like this. So we get 3000 ppm like this. So this is actually permanent hardness value. So now measured actually permanent hardness also. So from the given statement, so first we calculated actually concentration of EDTA solution. So that is actually 0.0444 molar like this. So by using that EDTA solution, we have done actually two different titrations. In the first titration, we can able to measure the total hardness of given water sample. After, from the third statement, we can able to measure the permanent hardness of a given water sample. So like this, we have two different values like this. We have total hardness value. So after doing all the calculations from the second titration, we have actually total hardness is equal to how much we have? 4800 ppm from the second titration. And from the third titration, permanent hardness from the third titration we have permanent hardness. So that value actually 3000 ppm like this. Then what is the meaning of total hardness? Total hardness is equal to temporary hardness plus permanent hardness like this. Total hardness is equal to temporary hardness plus permanent hardness like this. So from this we have to calculate temporary hardness like this. Therefore temporary hardness is equal to total hardness minus permanent hardness. What is the total hardness value? 4800 minus 3000. So that is equal to 1800 ppm like this. So like this we can able to calculate total hardness, permanent hardness and temporary hardness of a given water sample. So in the examination they used to ask some questions like this. So we have to understand what the first statement they have given like this. So first they have actually standardized the given EDTA solution by using standard hard water sample. Once we know the concentration of EDTA solution, we can go for the different titrations like a before boiling process one titration, after boiling process another titration. So before boiling process always provides actually total hardness value, but after boiling process actually that provides actually permanent hardness value. The difference between these two values always provides actually temporary hardness value. So this is the importance of EDTA method. By like this we can able to calculate different hardness values by using this method. Okay. So similarly we have another example also. So you can see here this actually standardization of EDTA solution. So we have done all this process and we have obtained actually EDTA standardization like this. Second step actually determination of total hardness of a given water sample from the second statement. So we have done the same process. This is the total hardness value 4800 in this manner. And first step actually we measured actually permanent hardness are given water sample. We have done the same process. So that is actually providing 3000 ppm of hardness like this. And the last step actually determination of temporary hardness. So temporary hardness is equal to total hardness minus permanent hardness, and this is the value we have obtained in this example. So like this we have to determine the various values from these problems. Similarly we have another problem, so and we have to find the answer for this problem also. So in this case also they have given the similar kind of data only, but please go through the data, please go through the problem and identify whatever the data they have provided, and from that you have to measure again same temporary hardness, total hardness, permanent hardness in this manner. So carbonate solution. So this is nothing but actually standard hard water like in the previous case, but this time they have given in this manner 50 grams per liter. So that means what is the molarity formula? Molarity is equal to weight of the substance divided by molecular weight into 1000 volume in ml. Yes or not? This is the molarity formula. So from this formula, for example, how much volume is there? 15 gram per liter. That means V value actually in this case 1000 ml. Okay. And what is the compound they are using? Calcium carbonate. We know what is the molecular weight of calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate, that is actually 100. And how much amount they are using? 50 grams, 15 grams. That means weight actually 15 grams. So in this case they have given actually weight 15 grams and 1000 divided by molecular weight 100 into volume 1000. So that means this is actually 0.15 molar solution. So that means they have 0.15 molar standard solution of calcium carbonate solution, and that solution requires 25 ml of EDTA solution. So like this, first of all we have to understand the concentration of standard hard water. By using this hard water, again we have to measure the concentration of EDTA solution. That is the first step. In the second step, 100 ml of same water sample required 18 ml of standard EDTA solution. So that is one of the titration. So that gives you actually total hardness value. The third step, the same 100 ml of water sample after boiling requires 12 ml of EDTA solution. So that means from this statement we can able to measure the permanent hardness value. So once we get the total hardness value, permanent hardness value from the first 2-3 statements, we can able to calculate the temporary hardness value. It is very much similar to the previous problem only, but only thing actually the concentration of standard hard water they have given in different manner like this. They have mentioned actually 15 grams dissolved in 1 liter of water sample. So that means if you do the if you calculate the molarity of this one, it is like a 0.15 molar like this. So by using that means this is the M1 value, and V1 value actually 20 ml. So like this we have M1, M2, M1, V1 values. Now we have to calculate the M2, V2 value from the first statement. So after that we have to calculate the M3 value. After that we have to calculate the M4 value. So finally you will get all the values in this case. So this is one of the problem. Please try this problem and we will see the answers in the later session. And similarly I am going to give another 2 problems also. So this is the problem 3 and problem 4 also. So please go through these 2 problems. The problem 3 actually very much simple problem, direct titration method only. 250 ml of water sample on EDT titration with EBT indicator consume 13 ml of 0.02 normal EDTA. So calculate the hardness of a given water sample. Very simple problem. So they have mentioned how much amount of water is available. 250 ml of water is available, and how much amount of EDTA consumed. 13 ml of EDTA consumed, and they have also provided the EDTA normality also. This time they have given the normality scale, but no problem. So EDTA titration is actually 1:1 ratios only. So therefore either normality or molarity both will give same kind of answer only. So this time they have given the concentration of EDTA also. Just we have to find out the concentration of hard water sample. From that we have to measure total hardness value. Just try this problem also. Similarly, this type problem very much similar to the problem 1 and problem 2. Just go to the statement, you will understand everything. 1 liter standard hard water was prepared by dissolving pure and dry calcium carbonate in 1 liter distilled water. So the first statement actually indicated what is the molarity of the hard water sample. So from the first statement, we have to understand what is the molarity of the hard water sample. Then there is a titration process. 50 ml of standard hard water, SWH means standard hard water, requires 46 ml of EDTA solution, while 50 ml of given hard water sample contains 20 ml of EDTA solution. So from these two statements, we can able to calculate concentration of EDTA solution as well as total hardness of a given water sample. And from the third statement, after that, after boiling, cooling and filtering, the hard water sample contains 10 ml of EDTA solution. So that means that from the fourth statement, we can able to calculate the permanent hardness value. So finally, we will be able to get the total permanent temporary hardness of a given water sample. So this is also very much similar to problem 2 and problem 1 actually. So like this, we have 4 different problems, and please practice all these problems. In the examination, they used to ask these kind of problems only. Okay, so this is all about actually numerical problems based on the EDTA method. In the next session, we will discuss about one of the important softening method, that is actually called ion exchange process. So that is normally we are using for the purification of water sample. That we will discuss in the later session. So thank you everyone. If you have any doubts, please contact to my email ID or my mobile number. So thank you one and all.